Good morning, everyone. I'm standing in front of the mezuzah at the front of the synagogue. And we all know that every single mezuzah is always placed on an angle, not straight and not lying flat. And the reason is because the Talmud says there's a dispute as to whether mezuzah should stand erect, vertically, or lie horizontally. And therefore, a compromise position is made, and it's on an angle. But why is it that from all the laws that there are disputes, it is only in this one that we particularly go with the compromise position? Well, the opening verse of this week's Torah portion is Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdov. Justice, justice you shall pursue. And the question is, why does it say justice twice? And one of the answers in the Talmud is that the judges should either go with the law, which is who won and who lost the case, or pshara. Pshara means a compromise. In the Jewish court, they ask the litigants, do you want to know the law, or do you want to have a compromise position? Because when you have a compromise position, it's a win-win situation. The word pshara, compromise in Hebrew, is from the word poshrim, which means mayim poshrim is warm water. Warm water is a compromise between hot water and cold water. It's meeting in the middle. The hot water says it's really hot water, it's just made a little bit cooler. And the cold water says, no, it's really cold water, it's just made a little bit warmer. And both feel like they are the ones that won. But really it's a compromise. When we say the Oseh Shalom prayer, make peace upon us, we take 3 steps back. So Rabbi Jacobowitz, the former chief rabbi of England, said, you know why you take 3 steps back? The Talmud says, what happens if 2 people are going on a road? It's a narrow path. They both have donkeys. Today they both have cars. And both cars can't get through. So there's 3 options. You could either have a standoff. They both sit there. They're not moving. You could either have a collision, or one moves aside so the other could pass. But when you move aside so someone else can pass, then you're no longer stuck. You can go forward. So Oseh Shalom, first you have to take 3 steps back. And if you take a few steps back and let someone else pass, you make a compromise, then you could go a lot further. Take 3 steps back, and then you could go hundreds, if not thousands of steps forward, rather than be at a standstill or a collision with another person where you're stuck, or either, God forbid, in a dispute or an argument that holds you back in life. And therefore, every time you walk into a room and you see the mezuzah, it reminds you, wherever you go, you're going to meet other people, and they may have different views or different desires or different perspectives. Always find a win-win solution, a compromise, whether it's in your home with your spouse and your family members, whether it's in the synagogue or anywhere else throughout the community. This is such an important lesson. Our society has become very fragmented, very polarized, different parties who cannot see eye to eye, and that's okay if you can't see eye to eye. Differences of opinion is a good thing, only if you learn to compromise, because then you bring out the best of both. You find the third path, the middle ground, that is a win-win, rather than both sides digging in their heels. There is a true story that happened once at the Special Olympics. There were a bunch of children running in Special Olympics. Each one had their own handicap. And they started running, and halfway through the race, one of the girls fell, and she began to cry. And the other kids with special needs turned around, stopped their running, saw the girl, went back, picked her up, brushed her off. They all locked arms, and they continued to run the race to the finish line. The entire stadium, spectators, rose to their feet and gave these children a thunderous applause. You see, these children with their special needs actually are very special, because they taught us an important lesson. Often in life we think that someone else has to fall, someone else has to lose for us to win. And we are happy that they stumbled, because that allows us to be the victor and the winner. What these children taught us is that we're all in this together. And therefore, if someone else falls, we can't just run forward. We have to go back, lift them up. Because ultimately, if we want to finish and cross the finish line, we have to do it with all of our relationships, family members and friends alongside of us, with everything intact. And sometimes we have to compromise, but we ultimately win and succeed only by finding the win-win solutions that everyone walks away happy. Have a wonderful day.